Okay, so as the world turns continues, um, Persia continues to be a graveyard. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So he did win it, but it cost him 3 bombers and 1 infantry. It killed 2 fighters of mine and 3 infantry. So at this point, overall, I mean, even with this again, another not good result for him. He knew he needed to take it because he didn't want me to throw more fighters in there, right? Because he saw me obviously bringing these fighters over, and then I'm willing to put 3 infantry, 3 fighters into Persia with UK, and so this has just been a haymaker after haymaker after haymaker back and forth. We're just throwing haymakers at Persia, and the reason being is if I was able to stack this and hold it, that puts him in quite a bind with both his factories and threat. So if allies take it, it's a very tough situation for Axis at that point. Um, and it really starts to bottleneck the whole Africa part. If Axis takes it, it's not the end of the game by any means, but um, it's not a good spot either, right? Once he starts lands a bomber in here, then it's 1, 2, 3. So DEI is no longer a free safe zone. Um, these bombers can hit 3 to Borneo, so there's no safe zones where you could just leave a transport sitting at anymore at that point. So um, we want to try to keep. We both want this territory. It's a very key territory. It's a territory that connects India, Africa, and Eurasia, right? It's the only one that's connects all 3 of those. Um, so we're gonna do the best that we can to continue to fight for it. I am going to continue at this point. I don't know if this is all the great bit. He definitely overall has gotten better dice in Persia, but certainly there's been some battles like this one that swung nicely my way as well. Especially Japan hitting twice. The German one was atrocious, though. He got a top 2% result that just destroyed my forces up there. Overall, I've lost. I went back through this war. I've lost 20 infantry, 1 tank, and 6 fighters in Persia. He's lost 9 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 fighter, and 6 bombers. And so that's the part I've been keeping an eye on. Is I've lost 6 fighters. He's lost 2 fighters, 6 bombers. That Air Force, especially his bomber. I like. I'm happy to see his bombers go down. It's costing me. IPC value of all the units lost is 126 for me, 127 for him. So kind of a toss there. But here's the downside. Here's the part that's not good for me is unit count, total unit count. I've lost 27 units with a lot of infantry in there, and he's lost 19 units. So unit count becomes very important in the grander scheme of things. So I'm happy to knock out his bombers, but the reason that unit count becomes important is he's got 14 units he can build right here. Throw in the 4 that he's pumping in because he's got his 2 transports that he could be transporting right into Caucasus as well. And he's got 18 units he could be pumping in to, right here a turn basically. And I've got not that. So I can't sustain this unless I can get in there and hold it and then get myself resituated where I can make use of all of this and get 16 units out of my backside here. Um, and then hopefully distract enough units over here to make that counterbalance. So that's what we're kind of looking at. I wish this would have gone better. The Germany attack on here would have gone better. The good news is what they don't know. This is the Americans here. This is in 6. This is SEAL Team 6 going in here, and so if the Germans attack, they're just going to absolutely wipe them out. These Americans are going to be fight atrociously. So the next play I'm going to do is going to be probably controversial. People are going to debate it and you know, may tell me it was foolish because I cut my supply chain even more temporarily, but I'm going for it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to buy 5 infantry. I'm going to buy a couple subs, a transport, and a couple fighters. And this probably, honestly, is not the right move. I'll be honest. I'm kind of just playing this game. This is a fun game, and I'm not doing the multiple turn calculation out of what's going to happen in Persia that I probably should do, but we're not. We are going to put everything in here. If we take this without a loss, then it'll cost him, on average, 3 to 4 German air to take it, to kill it. If I was him, I wouldn't attack it. I'd be patient because these 6 guys plus 4 more guys means he's going to have 14 Germans here, and I'm probably not going to be able to hold it at that point. But because he's been showing the willingness to just keep trading back and forth and throw these haymakers, I'm going to tempt him to throw another one and hope the dice go my way this time. So, obviously, if I'm doing this, I plan on bringing my fleet over here, which means I need to keep C-Zone 62 dead zone. So the best he can build here is either 2 carriers and land 4 fighters on it against surface ships. So that's why I put 2 subs in. Going to drop 2 subs in the water. So then the next best is he can build a carrier, a destroyer, and a sub and put 2 fighters on it. And so I'm going to be bringing these 2 bombers over to DEI where they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because he has no Japan units in range that could take it, I know that'll be a safe landing spot if I have to. So we'll have the 2 bombers. We're building 2 fighters. We're going to leave this carrier back so the 2 fighters can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll have 2 fighters, 2 bombers, and 2 subs threatening C-Zone 62 to keep it under wraps. And then over here, we should have enough even for the 1-2 because the Japan really is just 2 bombers that Japan can reach C-Zone 34 with. And Germany has 4 bombers, 2 fighters. I did use a calculator on this one, and so it looks like I should be okay there. He may take that risky battle, but I'm only going to have 2 transports there, and I'll still have 3 transports sitting back here. So if he takes it, he takes it. Alright, I know it's a lot of talking, and all for attacking one person. I hate leaving Egypt like it is, but I just really want to tempt him in Persia, and I really want to get this without him hitting back. Even if he does hit back, it's still a positive battle for me if Germany attacks. Alright, here we go. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Alright, look at that. I even called the number. Alright. So that will make it a very costly battle if Germany wants to try to take Persia again. And if he doesn't, then I do got 6 UK coming in, and then I've got 4 fighters. Plus I'm going to have 6... Well, here we go. We're going to have 3 loaded transports here, plus 4 guys with these 2 transports that could jump over to Persia. So again, I'm looking to try to stack Persia. I'm throwing everything I can to do so. I am going to bring... I got some infantry for him. I thought about putting these bombers in India, right? Because that puts them closer to the front line. But what happens after UK moves these 3 guys up here and they build 3 guys? I just, between his 3 bombers and his 2 bombers, was there really any added advantage of being in India? I could threaten C-Zone 16, but, you know, I got nothing else to threaten C-Zone 16 with, so it's not really a threat. So I'm just going to hold him back and be safe. Did I forget to grab my guys? I only grabbed one guy. That's what happened. I'm like, what happened? There we go. Get both guys over. I'm going to do this. So because we were able to take all this, these bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4, can't land anywhere, so he can't attack me. And so then even if he takes France, Japan only has one bomber that can get out there. So he's got 2 fighters and a bomber that he could attack me with, but if the fighters went, he'd be risking to have to pull his fleet in and then pull them in. And so by all that's to say, maybe I don't really have a plan, but maybe I can set something up to, again, try to get in here and clear these guys somehow. Because this fleet really is problematic. More problematic than I would like. I bragged I didn't have to kill that initial battleship, but now I kind of wish I wish it was dead. All right, I think that's all the turn. Of course, this turn I think is going to end up setting me back a little bit on the attack power overall. I didn't even look at it. I didn't consider it. Now I could put these in here or in here, but since I'm not using all my build spaces, because yes, I'm not effectively using my build spaces. I promise I will make use of those. Especially when Japan starts coming back this way. Right now I'm just taking advantage of the situation to try to get Persia stacked if at all possible. So yeah, so we're going to have 3 loaded transports sitting here, plus these 4, and we've got these 6. Again, he can choose to attack this, and see if I have that up here real quick. Thought I had that. Oh, nope, doesn't look like I do have it up right now. Anyways, so he could choose to attack it at quite the negative value. And here we go. He could choose to strafe it, of course, which is probably the best strategy, because if he brings E6, builds 4, and instead of coming back to here, brought 4 into there, he'd have 14 ground sitting there. And he just needs to lower it so that my people coming in would be an issue. So here we go. So here's his straight up attack on Persia right now. He's got a 66% chance of winning it outright at a negative 20 IPC, and that's him, losing 4 airplanes in doing so. If he wanted to take it so that I couldn't move my 3 UK fighters in there, where he has to have 1 live, it's now down to a 60% chance, and he's going to go all the way down to 1 bomber at a high cost here. So I don't really look at what's I don't even think a 1 round. I don't think a strafe is going to be. It's going to be advantageous to me, right? 26 versus 23, so it's not super costly. So he may take that 1 shot, lose his infantry, see what happens. Maybe he gets good dice, and then he decides to continue, or maybe we get good dice and knock out a plane or 2. That would be nice. I'd love to see us knock out a plane or 2 with him. It's not much to get at least 1 of them. So I didn't calculate out. I'd be curious to see if he does max build to put pressure on Persia. I probably should have calculated out if he does max build, and then I bring in my 10 Americans and 6 UK on top of it. If I can hold this stack. We're hoping this maneuver holds it. Again, the downside, as you can see, is I don't have a lot of reinforcements coming in. I don't have anybody down in the peninsula here, and I did that because Japan's 2 turns away, so he's giving me a little bit of breathing room. And again, I got my 2 subs, 2 fighters, 2 bombers that can hold C zone 62 in check. So yeah, I'm hoping we got Persia. Again, I didn't calculate it. We're just gonna hope.